0.1 billion naira as revenue and granted 3,798 certificates of occupancy. It is also rehabilitating all the 36 federal secretariats and constructing 6 new ones, while the Federal Housing Authority is being restructured for more efficiency.
The urban and regional development agenda is being pursued through such programs as slum upgrading, articulation of a national physical development plan, and the development of urban and housing indicators.
These achievements were not, however, without some challenges which are being tackled systematically. The ministerial platform, according to Information Minister, is a plus for the Jonathan administration as it has made ministers to work harder for the benefit of the country.
The mere fact that this session is free, anybody could ask questions and it is run live, has compelled all our ministers and all of us in cabinet to work harder. It has created heavy competition among members of the Federal Executive Council as we step out, yearly to speak to the people on records of our own achievements.
In Abuja, Muhammad Hamza Sheikh, NTA News.
And as part of activities marking the World Post Day, postal administrators in Nigeria sensitized authorities and the public on the role of post in national development. Ruben Okala reports.
When writing evolved in the human race, communications came into existence with China, Egypt, and Assyria, blazing the trail in about 4000 BC. In Nigeria, postal services were introduced in Lagos in 1852 by the British government, initially as part of the measures to enhance the efficiency of the anti-slavery trade. The post, however, became more visible in Nigeria at the amalgamation of northern and southern protectorates in 1914. Since then, postal services have continued to evolve.
Visual patronage in terms of writing letters, as we used to know when we were in secondary school, has dropped drastically. But then there is corporate patronage, and then there is also what we call e-commerce transaction.
I picked them from China, and I used to have some from UK too. So they just arrive and they text and call me that I should come and pick them. So you can see them in my hands now. They are very, very reliable.
And then some of us still see it as that same old chip of the block. So we still do it, and we'll still continue to do it.
NIPO says the need to improve on its various services remain a task.
The financial services and the logistics. You all agree with me that for us to have that, to have a number of trucks on the road, we need to have quite money that will be able to acquire these trucks and also insure them.
Postal activities have even stepped up with the information and communication technology age. Happy World Post Day. In Abuja, Ruben Okala, NTA News.
You are watching NTA Panorama. We took a short break now. When we return, more stories. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thanks for being there. You're watching NTA's Panorama. And now to some more stories. The Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, has lamented the current drumbeats of alarm over a purported imminent demise of the nation, saying that Nigeria is destined to be permanent and indestructible. Senator Ekweremadu stated this while giving his perspective on key governance issues in Nigeria at the 54th Founders Day lecture of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. National Assembly correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The Deputy Senate President, who spoke extensively on the state of the nation and the best way forward, maintained that the political stability and development of Nigeria will never be destroyed by the ill will of any person or group of persons. He said although Nigeria continually faces complicated issues that tax existing institutions and processes, most of the challenges can be resolved through democratic process. Senator Ekweremadu therefore called on Nigerians to engage in what he calls good faith discussions towards developing pragmatic reforms that will reinvigorate the nation's democracy for better, safer, and more prosperous nation.
By the wisdom, tenacity, and commitment of all of us, Nigeria will be better. And there's no doubt in my mind that this country will be better. I urge you all to participate in this eminently desirable task of building Nigeria of our dream.
The Deputy Senate President made a case for improved educational system, the NYSC scheme and judicial reforms, decentralized police force, as well as the adoption of the 6 geopolitical zones as federating units. The Vice Chancellor, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Chukwuma Ozumba, and other speakers described the propositions by the Deputy Senate President as thought-provoking, highly enriching, and worthy of attention.
And I think the challenge of this country is to go for the impossible. If we continue to do what we are used to, we are not going to make any progress.
It is time for Nigeria to have a database. That database affords even your eyeball to be able to detect that this is who this person is.
INEC itself needs to be reformed, reoriented to carry out the mandate fearlessly and independently.
Amen. The bottom line of Senator Ekweremadu's perspective on key governance issues in Nigeria is the expression of optimism about the future of the country. With prevailing challenges confronting Nigeria seem to be dissipating, the lecture concludes that the most glorious chapters in the nation's history are yet to be written. From University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Chairman, Police Service Commission Sir Mike Okiro has called on Nigerians, irrespective of religious, ethnic and political inclinations, to support the First Lady's Peace Initiative to ensure peace before, during and after the 2015 general elections. Mr. Mike Okiro made the call when Mama Peace Ambassadors, a non-governmental organization, conferred on him the chairmanship of the NGO. Correspondent Edino Justice has the details.
The Mama Peace Ambassadors said they are mobilizing Nigerians for a violence-free 2015 election to avoid past experiences. The conferment of the Sir Mike Okiro, according to East National Coordinator Mike Omohimunwa, was a right choice.
I want to use this medium to call on all many Nigerians, especially terrorist groups, to lay down their arms and embrace peace for the interest of the nation.
Sir Mike Okiro, while expressing happiness to be identified with the First Lady's Peace Initiative, says there is no alternative to peace.
Wherever you are, you must show that peace must reign in Nigeria. We must work together to keep Nigeria afloat in the sea of trouble.
We are going to go in all the zones of this country, in the states, in the local governments, and even at the world level.
Mama Peace Ambassadors, an initiative to mobilize all segments of Nigerians for peaceful conduct before, during, and after election, came into existence about 5 months ago. Edina Justice, NTA News.
Stakeholders across the world and young females from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT are to chart a developmental process to empower the girl child in meeting the challenges of the 21st century. This, the Director General of the National Center for Women Development, Onyeka Owenu, says, is the thrust of the Women and Girls Summit. Talatu Ezirike reports.
Tackling challenges facing the girl child has necessitated a Women-Girls Summit scheduled for the 13th and 14th of this month. Interacting with the media, the Director General, National Center for Women Development, say the summit with the theme reinforcing the agenda for the girl child education is unique in many ways to close the gaps for these groups in the areas of health, security, gender-based violence and poor education.
Our women must be protected against all forms of discrimination and be given equal opportunities and access to education.
She added that the abuse of the girl's child must be brought to an end. The center, she noted, intends to follow up on the summit convened by the Office of the First Lady and ensure the implementation of resolutions. In Abuja, Talati Ezirike, NTA News.
And also, a one-day national validation meeting of guidelines for promotion and response for intervention on gender-based violence in the Northeast and other parts of Nigeria has ended in Abuja with a view to bringing to conclusion all ongoing consultative and inclusive processes. Timothy Yusuf reports that the meeting was organized by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development.
Ongoing consultative and inclusive processes towards the development of the National Intervention Plan for the treatment and support for survivors of insurgents, especially women and girls in Nigeria, became an imperative as stakeholders say act of terrorism is alien to Nigeria and Nigerians. It is for this reason that the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, given its strategic mandate, conceived a program of intervention for the treatment and support for survivors. This is in collaboration with some development partners.
We are looking at enduring guidelines and strategies that will involve services towards the complete rehabilitation of those affected.
Ending the scourge of gender-based violence is imperative for the achievement of the internationally agreed development goals, including the Millennium Development Goals, the MDG.
Participants at the meeting expressed the hope that the anticipated guidelines will address issues of unskilled organizations providing relief services to victims of violence.
Normally when things happen, it will force us to sit up and make maybe laws or guidelines or rules.
Our take is that whatever guideline the ministry, who is our own supervisory ministry, is able to come up with in collaboration with other stakeholders will be taken very seriously.
It is hoped that the meeting will come up with a balanced response and intervention guidelines that will include a referral section and serve as a standard for long-term service delivery. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
As always, just before we go, here's a quick reminder that it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And that's it for now on Panorama. We thank you for watching. For more news, do join us again at 4 p.m. I am Rhoda Obo. Thank you for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day.